Zach LaVine latest comments letting us know that the writing is on the wall. It is no longer about if, but when he's going to be out the door. And I honestly feel like he got a point. Y'all know we got to talk about it. But you got to hear the music first.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another episode of Shy Boys Podcast with me and my co-host C-Dub. If you like what you're listening to today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shake the notification bell. So every time we drop, you be one of the first ones to know. Now look, we know this season has been nothing less than trash. Trash. And let's just all keep it a buck. But we kind of knew, or at least some of us thought that with the addition of Javon Carter, with the addition of Torrey Craig, the Bulls would at least be competitive. Not a championship contender still, but at least competitive. But with the Chicago Bulls starting off 4-7, and a lot of things from last two seasons, excuse me, creeping on up into this season, we kind of knew what the Chicago Bulls was going to look like. We kind of knew. I tried to go out and say that I was going to give it 20 games, but let's keep it a buck. Not looking like this. You can't say, hey, I need 20 games to evaluate the tape. No. So, all those things considered, along with everything that has come out these past few days, we know the writing's on the wall. We can't assume that the guys within the Chicago Bulls locker room didn't know the writing was on the wall, especially when you got Zach LaVine in a press conference the day of the game, the night of the game, talking about his frustrations openly in a way you really haven't heard him talk about since he's been here. And let's keep it a buck. When he comes out and says, when Zach LaVine comes out and says, I'm frustrated. Do I feel frustrated? I'm frustrated. We've been at this thing for 3 or 4 years now. We've been trying to get over the hump, but it's not working. We're in the same place. What does that tell you? Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Zach LaVine came with his comments about this being, going on 3 or 4 years of doing this, and it ain't doing nothing. Prior to the season, Nikola Vucevic came out and pretty much said the same thing. We didn't feel like a team last year was one comment. This is our last dance was another comment. DeMar DeRozan, I believe a few nights, was talking about it too, trying to get it turned around. I'm not going to misquote or put anything out there, but that is my belief. If I could remember, but y'all let me know, did something come out those last few days when DeMar DeRozan really talked about the state of the Chicago Bulls? But back on to Zach LaVine. This is what most of us pretty much seen, y'all. We knew it was coming. Hence why me and C-Dub earlier today dropped the best trade ideas. Simply because when a guy of this caliber comes out and starts talking like this, and we know who Rich Paul is, we know Rich Paul is about making a deal for him and his client. We already know. And I kind of feel like Zach LaVine has a point, and it goes in favor of the ones that want to blow it up. Zach LaVine has a point in this simply because the Bulls been stuck in mud. We know the Bulls don't have many assets to transform this team. The Bulls are locked into situations that we know that we're going to be handcuffed. Zach LaVine is a max money guy. DeMar DeRozan, max money guy. You go Vucevic on a kind of a team-friendly deal, but money is being dispersed out. And the team is stagnant at this point. We know what this team is. We know what they look like. We tried, and that's the point. It's time. It's really time. We held out. Most of us held out as long as we can. Others came out and said it a lot earlier. Kudos. Kudos. You know what I'm saying? Kudos. But I think it's time, man. I think it's time to allow your young guys to come in here and flourish. You got Kobe White you can still depend on. Ayo Dosunmu. Hey, I don't know what P. Will come turn to. I don't know. But you got Julian Phillips. You got Orlop Bitsum, who was just called up for tonight's game. Hey, my boy Hayes told me Henry Drill down there in the G League doing this thing. Maybe not going to be NBA players, but you got a little bit of hope there. And right now, the way you improve this team, it's tough because you don't have assets. So he has a point. Y'all going to be, you're in the same place. And everybody know that the Chicago Bulls ceiling right now is a first-round exit. It's a first-round exit. They trying to change the style of the offense, but that hasn't changed much, has it? No. You can look, I'm not a big analytics guy, but you can look at the analytics and the stats that tell you that this big three, who a lot of us started calling the mid three, they're horrible together on the floor. It just doesn't work. They've tried to do everything. I think it really sucks that one player can change so much for one team, bro. And he's not even a superstar. It's crazy. It's crazy that Lonzo Ball, after his injury, the Bulls went downhill with him. Were we going to be a championship team? No, probably not. But will we have been more competitive? A lot more funner to watch? I don't know. But hey, that's what I know. Everybody can see the writing on the wall now. That's what it comes down to. We can really see what's the writing on the wall now when you look at the situation in its entirety, in totality. They gave resources. They tried to run it back. They tried to, add new pieces, get guys on the buyout market with this team. I believe they tried just about everything except one thing, and that's blowing it up. That's all you can do now. So that's the point. But that's it for me today. I will see y'all in a couple hours for the Orlando Magic game. Make sure you tune in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We will be live calling the game tonight against the Orlando Magic to see how Zach LaVine plays. Or, most importantly, the Chicago Bulls. We shall see. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.